The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, go Cowboys! This is Mick Shots, streaming live on DallasCowboys.com and the official Dallas Cowboys app. Now, here are Bill Jones, Everson Walls, and Mickey Spagnola.
Well, 1 out of 3 ain't bad. I thought the song went 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Okay.
Mickey Spagnola's here. Nate Newton coming out of the bullpen
once
again to join
sir.
Mick Shots here on DallasCowboys.com this Friday with, as Bill would say, football players on the football field right now. The Cowboys going through what they call is their mock game. So it's a walkthrough practice, although they do have helmets on and jerseys. And they just basically review who's on what team, and especially for special teams, who's on the field. So we have tours going through Nate Newton.
Yes, we do.
Too bad I think they can hear us.
Can y'all hear us out there? I don't think that y'all can hear us.
Yeah,
they can hear us.
All right, that's
Yeah,
good.
she too big to be picking up. Pick that girl up for your mom, but don't do get that girl. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
It's been a good Friday.
Great Friday.
The rain finally stopped. The
Oh, I don't
team's
care. Rain,
practicing
shine,
outstairs.
sleet or snow, baby. We like the mailman. We gonna keep coming.
And that's what Mick Shots does, right?
Yes.
Doesn't matter. There's a holiday.
That's right.
I think there's maybe 2 people upstairs working.
That's good.
Besides myself.
Yeah, and me.
And Nate. And we appreciate him.
We got Chris on. We got Chris on the wheels of steel back there spinning.
That's right.
Yeah.
The holiday's over.
Yes, it is.
Right? Christmas.
I'm a Christmas man, and I pray every Christmas. I thank the Lord, our Savior. But I promise you this right here, my friend. I've worked since 1986 every Christmas.
Somehow, some
way, indirectly or directly, man. I love it. I love it. Being a cowboy is a unique and special thing, whether it's a direct cowboy being on that field or indirectly working with you and the other guys and all the guys that I work with, and Chris in the back and Jazz and Jesse and all those guys. I get excited, man.
So if I remember correctly, you at least played once or twice on Christmas night.
I think once, yes.
The 95 season,
yes,
right?
Yes, I think. Yeah, I didn't even know that. I did not even know that.
At Phoenix, right?
Yes. Went out there and it was hot.
That was the game you had to win to clinch the #1 seed. Remember on the way out, San Francisco got beat.
Oh, I remember that. Can I tell a story?
Go ahead.
We were on the plane going there. And somehow, this is when you start being able to watch games on the
plane.
On the plane, it didn't always happen that way, but you can start watching games. So we watching this game, and then I'm telling you, in every player's mind, I thought it was only in my mind. I'm like, man, we need home field advantage. We don't want to have to face the 49ers. You know what I'm saying?
In San Francisco.
And boy, when Green Bay did that right there, I had never seen Mike Irvin run so fast in his life. He ran up and down on my house.
The aisle
on that
in the plane.
Like, yeah, we in again. And I thought I was the only one thinking that way, bro.
Yeah.
And so that was a good thing, because even though you don't fear a team, matchups are everything, man. Especially when you have 2 high-caliber teams. Matchups are everything. Yes, sir.
And then you missed the Christmas Day game. They played Tennessee to end the season in 2000.
Yeah, I went here
gone
for that.
by
I was
then,
gone, man.
right?
Yeah, I was out of the league.
I remember that game because
The league told me no more.
Troy was injured. He was out.
Yes.
The backup quarterback, Randall Cunningham,
Yes.
suddenly had a hamstring pull. He was out. And Wright, the third quarterback, had to start the game.
Oh, wow.
It was cold.
Yes.
It was miserable.
Mm-hmm.
They got shut out, I believe. No one wanted to play that game, right?
That's right. Wow.
In Nashville. And that was another Christmas Day game I remember covering. So, yeah, at least we were home for Christmas. Let's put it that way, because some teams had to play. I think 2 teams last night had to play.
Yes.
I don't know how well they played. 6-3.
Wow.
I think I said I was watching, and I said, God, I can't believe this game was 6-3. And my wife goes, what sport?
Wow.
And it was football. We do have what I thought we were going to see is during Sirianni's press conference after their practice on Friday, said that Jalen Hurts was still in concussion protocol. So you're thinking if it's Friday and he's still in concussion protocol and hasn't practiced all week, it's probably Kenny Pickett starting the game Sunday for Philadelphia. The game starts at noon Central. So that evens things up a little bit.
Yes, yes. So
both backup quarterbacks having to start the game.
Yes, and thanks, Chris Bean, for breaking that on me. I saw it on my phone, and I shipped it over there to Mick. It's just make it even more intriguing because Philadelphia needs these wins.
Yeah.
They need these wins to stay safely in the slot that they're in every game, because now we have a great chance of competing heavily against them this week. We have a great chance. We've been playing on fumes all year. They are, with your quarterback out, we can make some crossroads or inroads or whatever you want to call it on this Pickett kid. We should be able to get some pressure on him, man, because unless they want to give it to one guy 45 times.
And don't be surprised if they do. So what Nate is saying, that they can just ride Saquon Barkley.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Who, by the way, and that's another storyline. We'll do that storyline first before we get to the quarterback situation. Saquon Barkley needs 268 yards in these next 2 games. He's got 1,838 yards right now, and he's trying to break Eric Dickerson's single-season rushing record, which is 2,105 yards. So the last thing you want to happen is he gains the necessary 268 yards against you to be able to break the record. I saw a story. Dickerson's not all about having his record broke. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I listened to you on our flagship station, how you got on Dickerson because he didn't break it in enough time for the last guy. But I just don't want it to be against us.
Yeah,
and Mr. Dickerson, I watched you break the record. I'm happy for you, but I'm just hoping. I don't even want to rush for 100 yards. I just don't. I've never wanted for the Dallas Cowboys to help anybody do anything that's against us.
Right.
Yeah. So I hope we keep him around 90 yards. I hope he get out of the game healthy and safe. No touchdowns and around 90 yards rushing, and you got to go do it against your old team. I think there's New York next week.
The Giants.
Yeah. Go do it against your old team.
Well, that would be poetic justice,
make sure,
right?
yeah. So don't do it against us. I'm hoping we hold him down. I'm really hoping we hold him down. I hope we,
So Dickerson, when he was asked about his single-season record potentially being broken if he was for it, and he said, absolutely not. I don't pull any punches on that. So if you held a record, Everson, when Trayvon Diggs was looking like he could break his, it was a Cowboys record, but it was the most interceptions in a single season by a player, the 11th since 1981.
Right.
he was all for the record being broken.
Right.
If you held a record, do you want it broken?
It just depends on what that record is.
Okay.
It depends on because some records are sacred, man. Some records will be talked about forever.
Right.
And if you can hold a record like for 30, 40 years, now that's something.
Now, offensive linemen usually don't have a record.
We don't have records. We always a part of people's records. You know what I'm saying?
And if it wasn't for you, these guys are offensive linemen.
Yeah.
These guys aren't breaking rushing records, right?
But I don't know. I've never held a record of that magnitude, so I don't know. You have to be in them shoes. I wasn't in them shoes. Now I wasn't even a part of Emmett's. When he broke the record over
But you were
Payton.
part of the yards along the way.
Yeah, I was 12,000 of that, 500. Yeah. But them crucial ones where he got the ball and they stopped the game, even though they got whooped. Yeah, yeah.
Seattle, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, as the story goes along, when Dickerson, the previous record was O.J. Simpson. He had 2,003 yards rushing. Right? Mm-hmm. But he did that in 14 games. It was a 14-game season. When Dickerson broke the record, he broke it in 15 games.
Right.
And then he had another game to add on to it. So now he's looking at, well, he better break it in 16 games because if it's 17 games, he had one extra game.
Right.
So we'll see what that happens. I thought it was interesting to see the list of guys who have rushed for more than 2,000 yards. Obviously, Dickerson with the most, 2,105. Adrian Peterson had 2,097. Jamal Lewis, 2,066 yards. Barry Sanders, 2,053 yards. Derrick Henry, 2,027, and I shouldn't have forgot it. Terrell Davis, 2,008 yards.
Wow.
And that was the year they won a Super Bowl, right?
Yes, sir.
Took the pressure off of John Elway.
Yes, he did.
It didn't have to be totally him. So that'll be one storyline we're talking about going into that game. And you're figuring that with a backup quarterback, they're going to want to run the ball.
It's something about that old offensive coordinator who's think he's going to outsmart the whole league.
Kellen Moore?
Yeah. For some reason, I don't know why, when it comes to the Cowboys, when he was the coordinator and when he comes against us as a coordinator, he got to prove to the world he can throw the ball. And not only does he prove to the world he can throw the ball, he want to throw it long. He want to make it where they have to hold the ball a long time. So, I don't know what to think about this game, but continue to think how you usually think when you're playing against the Cowboys or coaching for the Cowboys. Think long pass. Give Parsons every opportunity
don't
to get
be handed it off. Time.
Yes.
Well, the first time around, Philadelphia ran for 187 yards on 38 carries on the Cowboys.
Ooh,
so they averaged 4.9.
How many carries?
A game. 38 carries. So they ran it a lot. And remember that game, it was 14-6 at halftime, right?
Yes, sir.
And so chances are they're going to try to load up on the run with their running back. Now, the difference will be, and I think we saw this in this past, I get my days, Baltimore played on Thanksgiving Day,
yes.
Right? The
Christmas Day, yeah.
Thanksgiving. That it makes a difference, I think. Now, I think Derrick Henry's really good.
Right.
But I saw some holes that open up as wide as those window panes.
Yes.
Well, part of that, I think, is the defense has to worry about Lamar Jackson running the ball. So you got to worry about two guys. You can't just concentrate on one. Will McClay was doing he got on the board diagramming some plays that they run, and he pointed out that when Baltimore started, they would have Derrick Henry kind of offset to one side or the other
Yes.
of the quarterback. Well, they decided that because of Lamar Jackson's running ability, they put him behind the quarterback. So now the defense doesn't know which way he's going,
right,
or likely to go,
right.
And it's made a huge difference. Well, for Saquon Barkley, I'm sure it has helped that Jalen Hurts has the ability to run the football,
Right.
And so that makes it more difficult to stop. Just say, okay, we're going to zero in on stopping him. Well, Jalen Hurts keep the ball and run on you,
Right.
right?
Right.
So I think that has helped. You know, I heard Jerry say that early when everybody's saying, well, why didn't you sign Saquon Barkley? Other than they couldn't afford it from a money standpoint, and I know you don't want to hear that. But he's got Jalen Hurts next to him, in front of him. And the ability of Hurts to run helps him take defenses can't just
Lamar.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about Jalen Hurts for Saquon.
Oh, okay.
Same thing, right?
For Lamar and Henry. Yeah, it's the same thing. And, you know, I tell like this here, Mick. But you got to prepare. You got to be in your gaps. You got to play your responsibility. And yes, those are top 10 or 15 offensive lines, and along with great running back, quarterback duos. But you still got to compete. We want to see where this team will be at come Sunday at 12, flex right into 12. We just want to see what this team will be. We want to see what this team continue to play hard, continue to play smart, especially defensively. They've been playing pretty smart football and being opportunistic and getting takeaways, getting off the field on third down. So we'll see. And the most important thing that Zim and his defenses have been able to do, but led by Parsons, is keeping people out of the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
So can they do that this week? Can they replicate what happened last week? I mean, it was a dirty game right down to the end of the game, but once again, the defense took away a touch we thought was a sure touchdown in the end zone with Jordan Lewis, and then right at the end of the game, we saw the other cornerback, Bland, come up, and you thought he was ran over, but he had the ball in the
Right.
Yeah, you thought he had got ran over, but he had
so
the ball.
you got to make plays.
Yes,
right?
sir.
So the first time around, and I know we got to take a break here. I said they rushed for 187 yards. They held Barkley to 66 yards.
Yes.
Okay, but he averaged 4.7. The hard part was Hurts ran for 56 yards on just 7 carries.
Right.
So they did not do a good job of keeping him in the pocket. He also ran for 2 touchdowns.
Yes.
Now, if I remember correctly, one of them was a tush push, a 1 yard, a 1 yard run, but he did get away on an 8 yard touchdown run. So he had 66, averaged 8 yards a carry and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
If they don't have that factor, then I think the Cowboys have a better chance to maybe slow down Saquon Barkley.
Yes, they do. They do. All of that plays a big part in it, man. All of it. Just come out with the same physicality you came out with last week. Stay in your lanes. Tackle. They were better tacklers last week. So just do those things. Replicate what you showed last week, and this team should be okay.
All right. Well, we'll continue on Mick Shots here on DallasCowboys.com and kind of talk about what the Cowboys need to do to slow down Kenny Pickett if indeed he is the Eagles' quarterback.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit CowboysTravel.com to book your travel package today.
Hey, Cowboy fans, I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game, Crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry. Even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness. Wow, did he ever thread the needle.
Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys to get started.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
The Medal of Honor is our country's highest military award for valor in combat. More than 40 million individuals have served in the armed forces since the Civil War. Fewer than 4,000 have received the Medal of Honor. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a place to preserve these legacies and inspire America. It's being built right next door to the Dallas Cowboys in Texas. Help us honor our country's greatest heroes. Learn more and get involved at mohmuseum.org.
Back to Mick Shots.
Cowboys Nation, Amanda Foster has been named your 2024 Dallas Cowboys Fan of the Year, presented by Captain Morgan, for her dedication to the team and spicing up the game. Vote for Amanda to be named the ultimate NFL Fan of the Year at NFL.com/Fan of the Year. I don't know why they didn't nominate Nate Newton for Fan of the Year.
No, I don't need it. I don't need it. I get it.
You just don't go to the game all dressed up. And
No, sir.
Nate shows up in his coat and tie when they got a
right.
pregame show from the stadium.
Got to do it right, man. I hope that young lady win.
Or here in the studio, right? You'll do a pregame show on Sunday, right?
Yes, 11
early
o'clock.
one, right? 11
o'clock,
o'clock.
yes.
Cowboys-Eagles, and understand that the Cowboys at 7-8 would like to do their very best to win the last two games and get to 9-8 and at least say we had a winning season.
Right.
And as for the Eagles, 12-3, they need to win one more game to be able to clinch the NFC East title. I think everybody assumed that was going to happen, but Washington's sitting there with 2 games behind. So if Philadelphia should lose both games and Washington wins their last 2, they finish in a virtual tie and it'll go to tiebreaker.
Wow.
So how about that? And this was a team that was hot on the heels of a first seed in the NFC playoffs and a bye. So that loss to Washington hurt them, not as mad as it hurt the Cowboys, but they need to be able to win the game. And now, you know, the concussion protocol with Jalen Hurts still in it as of Friday, and usually to get out of concussion protocol, you have to have an extensive workout one day, and then you got to be able to come back the next day and be able to show you can do it again without any repercussions from the workout. So now that it's Friday, he's running out of time. So chances are, it would seem Kenny Pickett will have to start the game. And prior to him going into the game against Washington this past week, he had only taken 7 snaps during the season.
Wow.
And only attempted 3 passes. Now, he did a decent job, right? They ended up, scoring 33 points. You'd have thought that was enough to win a game. But in the end, they kicked too many field goals. So you're facing a young quarterback without much NFL experience. If you're the defensive coordinator, what you doing?
First, I'm doing everything I can to slow down Mr. Barkley.
Okay.
You got to do that. And now you give him all different types of blitz looks, blitz sometime, not blitz, different secondary looks. I mean, you mix it up on him and see if he's ready for that. I mean, and like I said, pick your poison when you blitz, because you can still throw the Gainwell or a Saquon out of that backfield. So you have to always know where those two guys at coming out of the backfield. But you give this kid as many safe, different, calculated looks as you can as a defensive coordinator without compromising your defense, because they have the weapons. And a lot of times these guys know that Mr. Pickett ain't as in line with their routes, and the timing is the word I was looking for. They know their timing may not be as great as it was with Jalen Hurts. So you got to speed him up, you got to get him off his mark. You ain't got so much sack him. It's just give him good looks and bat down a couple of them balls and keep his confidence low.
So for this year, Pickett is 15 of 27 for 148 yards, an average of 5.5 yards an attempt, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. So he doesn't have a lot of experience playing in this offense. And I'm with you on make sure you stop Barkley, because if he can just rely on that and have to throw every now and then, you're going to have problems. But if you can slow down Barkley somehow, some way, then get pressure on him.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Because young quarterbacks who haven't played a heck of a lot, the game speeds up in the pocket.
Yes, it
You
does.
don't want them to get comfortable. You think the Cowboys can do it with their front, or do they have to load up? But that's where stopping Barkley comes into play, right?
Right. You stop Barkley, slow him down, and put them in enough third down situations that's beyond 4 yards.
Mm-hmm.
If you 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, and depending on where you're at on the field, you keep them on their end of the field, on their side of the 50. Now that makes your coordinator a little itchy. He want to make sure, because he don't want to be punting that ball. So here we go. And if you can get him looking at his reads, and if you can get up and press a little bit, I would really mix up my coverages, because if you press a little bit and make him come off of that first read, that gives Parsons and company a second chance to get at him. But if he coming back, dropping back, and he hitting his first read, got a swing to the backfield, and we're not tackling well, in which we should tackle well to get these guys down, now that gives them confidence. You don't want any quarterback, young or old, if they can get confidence, if these backs can help them, or these tight ends, by coming off that first read, they can hurt you. But if you take away that first read, which is Smith or either Brown, and make him go to his second read, that just gives your defensive line a chance to get to him. Or it gives coach, when he goes to those double-A gaps, a chance to pick one of those gaps where they turn the wrong way and let one of those linebackers loose in their own him. But you got to hit him. You got to disrupt him.
Yeah, because if he gets comfortable in the pocket, then he has more time to go through his reads. And let's factor in that he is playing with a couple really good wide receivers out there.
Yeah, Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown, these dudes are a beast. I mean, A.J. Brown is your big play guy. Smith is your mid. Smith can do it all. Mm-hmm. If they didn't have A.J. Brown, you would see Smith doing some miraculous things. Number 6, I think, is his number. This kid is legit. I mean, he is special, man. And when Saquon broke on his 68-yard jaunt last week, I saw him just run downfield and catch
Yeah.
Just running easily. The other guy that was chasing Barkley, they was struggling. He just cruised past everybody, just running and talking. You can see his hands waving.
Right.
And I mean, that's pure speed, bro.
Yeah.
When you can run next to a guy that's wide open and you running and talking to a guy and the other guy struggling. Yeah. So I'm glad they don't throw to him as much as they should at Devontae Smith because of they have A.J. Brown who's going to ask for that ball. A little bit more.
He leads the Eagles 64 catches. He's already got 1,043 yards. So think about that. He's averaging 16.3 yards a catch.
That's A.J. Brown?
Yes.
Yes. He's a big play guy. He's a great contested ball catcher. I mean, when guys are tangled up with him, he can still come down with that ball. He has more than 60% chance of coming down with that ball. So he's special. Both of these guys are special. It ain't who do you double.
Right.
It's who do you make sure you tackle, make sure your technique is right. It ain't about I'm gonna put the safety over here, the safety over there, because these guys, I think they're equally good. Now people favor A.J. Brown, but that's because Devontae Smith run intermediate routes like no other. He's a route running guy, man. And when you got a guy that can hurt you underneath, that just makes that thing getting over the top a little bit more easier.
So one of the things the Cowboys have done, and maybe you can explain to everybody how this works out, is in a lot of recent definite passing situations, Mike Zimmer has loaded the box. Mm-hmm. They got 6 guys on the line of scrimmage.
Yes.
Now, sometimes they all don't come, but if they do, problematic for the offensive line knowing who you have to pick up?
The thing about it is they are good enough and experienced enough. You're not gonna fool them.
Uh-huh.
Now you may fool
their offensive line.
Yeah, you're not gonna fool their, but you may fool the quarterback. The quarterback may be looking up thinking the guy coming off the left side, but really it's the guy coming off the right side, and they don't have the hots right. But that old line, they pretty seasoned and they pretty good. And they 9 times out of 10, they gonna pick up who they supposed to. And I've seen Barkley and I've seen Gainwell, both of them block their guys. So when he does that, that's why I say it's got to be very calculated, because this offensive line is experienced and they are good. Where the mix-up got to come is hoping that he has no rhythm with his receivers yet. Like it even took Cooper Rush, a veteran guy, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
To get into a rhythm. So if we can keep him out of rhythm, because he threw a nice touchdown in the game last week, and I'm talking about Pickett. But the interception he threw it into 3 guys, and I don't even think Brown was kind of expecting. Brown went and ran a little ran route and kind of looked, and here go 3 guys just, and it is an interception. So. You got to confuse him more than anything. I think you have to confuse the quarterback.
And I think when the Cowboys have been placing that many on the line of scrimmage, it's not always Micah Parsons rushing on the outside.
Right.
So he's coming in the middle, or he's looping in the middle, and that causes some confusion, I would imagine, for the offensive line.
It does, and because the offensive line and the running back has to work in concert. And a lot of times when you're running games, especially when you have an outside linebacker or even a corner sometimes that done eased up, and that back know he has him, but they run tackle out, in, out. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Now they passing guys, and that here comes this safety or this corner or this outside linebacker looping, coming all the way back in. Do you want to be sure that your running back can pick up that defensive end if you say, hey, we're going to pass him out to you? Or do you say just ease back inside and take that that safety or that linebacker that's going to loop back inside? So most people let the running back just maneuver his way back inside. A couple of times we were good enough to let Darius Johnston cut that in guy, and we took care of what was inside. So it's just –
and you have like 2 seconds to decide, right?
Yeah, it's all on the move. It's already been preordained.
Yeah.
But can you make it come to fruition is what the deal is.
Because I think we've seen, with the return of Micah Parsons, the Cowboys' sacks have certainly picked up since his return.
The pressures
and it's
and the
not
sack.
all him, but he does have 8.5 sacks since he returned. And a lot of it is him looping inside, and the guard or the center are taking care of something else.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, look who's coming.
And in the speed that he generates, it's hard to recover. It's all about with Parsons, you can see him, but are your feet and hands quick enough to catch up with your eyes? Because you can see him, but that speed is something else. That speed kills, man. Ask the quarterback.
And he's going to be ready to eat too, because he wants to get to 10 sacks.
Right. And I think he wanted to prove to Philly, that he can have success against Philly. He's tweeted out something.
Oh, he said it yesterday.
Yeah, he wanted.
I don't like Philadelphia.
Yeah, he wanna. And the thing is, it's all about the matchup. You've not had success on a right tackle, and I promise you,
Lane Johnson.
Yeah,
right?
Lane. I promise you, if you get 4 sacks and they on the 2 of them on the guard and 2 of them on the left tackle, at 5 years from now, they'll be like, "Hey man, Lane Johnson stopped it." No, they're gonna notice you had 4 sacks. Get them sacks, bro. This about matchups. Don't try to just run over Lane Johnson. I mean, give him 1 or 2 reps. Let him know you will come over there. But you got 4 other guys that you can go whoop up on.
And he only needs a half a sack to get to double-digit sacks.
Yeah.
For every season he's played now in the NFL. One other thing on Lane Johnson, I told you that Will was telestrating some plays.
Right.
There was a running play. He blocked 4 different guys going downfield. Got the guy at the line of scrimmage, got the linebacker, picked off a safety and somebody else. Will was diagramming each block. So he's pretty darn good.
Yes, he is.
All right, we got to be good here and take our final break on Mick Shots on DallasCowboys.com.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey Cowboy fans, I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game, crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry, even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness. Wow, did he ever thread the needle.
Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys to get started.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit CowboysTravel.com to book your travel package today.
Cowboys football and Miller Lite. What a pairing. Can cracks at kickoff. Tailgates going way past postgame. Sunday night overtimes followed by Monday morning swagger. Brisket in the smoker. Miller Lite in the cooler. America's team playing America's greatest sport. Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys football tastes like Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2023 Miller Brewing Company, Fort Worth, Texas.
Back to Mick Shots.
The Walter Payton Man of the Year Award, presented by Nationwide, recognizes the players who do so much more, both on the field and in the community. Help Dallas Cowboys nominee Zach Martin raise funds for the National Medal of Honor Museum Foundation by casting your charity challenge vote on NFL.com/Man of the Year or tweet your support using the hashtag WPMOY challenge. Voting ends on January 6th. Vote for Zach. As we continue here on DallasCowboys.com, it seems like we forget Zach Martin has been out these last few games, and the Cowboys won 4 of 5 here as he went through surgery to repair that ankle. So speaking of injuries, the Cowboys had 7 guys that did not practice yesterday.
Okay.
And 1, 2, 3, 4 of them were starters. Now, one of those was Lamb, so we can eliminate him. Malik Hooker was rest, non-football injury. He did not practice. Nick Vigil, who started for Kendricks last week, once again did not practice, and he told me he hasn't practiced on a regular basis since hurting his foot against Pittsburgh. That's a long time ago, right?
Yes.
And then he comes in and starts his first game of the year, plays 96% of the snaps, and leads the team with 10 tackles. Donovan Wilson cropped up on Thursday with a knee. He did not practice. And I said Vigil, Hooker, Chuma Adogo, who did start the game, he still got this toe that's bothering him, did not practice on Thursday. We'll see where that one goes, or if they have to go towards Tyler Guyton, because they kind of switched off in the game until Guyton missed his block that one time. I know what you want. You want Guyton out there getting snaps.
Not anymore.
Okay.
The thing is now, what you fear is he's already low confidence, lose job, confidence get even lower, but they giving him some reps. It comes a point where you have to think about the team and its overall psyche. And great thing happened about 6 games ago. A guy who I've been begging to play played, and his name was Austin Richards. The cat got out of the bag. This guy wasn't drafted in the first round, but this guy played all right for the first time. He really outplayed your first-round pick. You can't have that happen. You got to stay with this bad, and hope that it gets good. But once you see something better, it's hard to sell to the fans, and it's definitely hard for your teammates to be looking like, hold on, man. You got $60 million standing back there getting beat to death, and you can do something about it and won't. So when the cat got out of the bag and then Achuma came back, which I did not want this guy in the game.
I'm with you.
I did not want a dog in the game. Apologize. I will apologize every chance I get. I'll apologize. He has done way better than I thought he could do.
Right.
And he's been a little...
Which is not great, but he did better.
He did better, yes. So now, the great thing about being a number 1 pick is you will get first and most shots when the season is over to improve your physical, your mental, and your spiritual standings. You got a chance to build.
Right.
So, yeah. I like... Excuse me. I'm sorry for that. I like that this kid... we'll get another shot at it. The Cowboys haven't given up on him, but you let the cat out of the bag, and it was let out of the bag when Austin Richards did what he did. And then Adoga showed up and did what doing what he's doing, and Cooper Rush has been the recipient of that.
Well, guess what?
Yes, sir.
Speaking of Austin Richards, if he's ready, he's eligible to come off of injured reserve.
He's
missed his
window of
required
opportunity.
4 games.
Yeah, but he's missed a window of opportunity too.
I know.
The thing about it, and see, I hate it. I got to bring this up because I promised myself every time I think about it, I'm glad that ain't one of the guys that Mr. Jones got to put on my Christmas list to sign. We still have Austin Richards. This is his second year.
Yes.
So, so we got him at least another year. So I'm like, man, my Christmas list.
It's getting bigger.
It's getting bigger and bigger. So,
and unfortunately, they're playing better and better.
Yes, we are. This is another test for the Dallas Cowboys.
All right. I don't think my cohorts.
Your picks and all of that. Oh, yeah, you got your picks.
Let's see if they did it or if they just forgot because they were off, right?
Picks to click. Oh, man, we should have been started that.
I don't see. Let's see.
Well, give us yours, Mick.
No. Well, I hadn't even thought of my pick to click,
right.
But it needs to be, and I know we've banned this because we could pick Micah Parsons every week.
Right.
I think he's even more important now because this defense has to play well to not have Cooper Rush have to put up 30 points to win the game.
Yes.
So, and I was going to pick the Cowboys to win this game until 3 o'clock yesterday.
Right.
And CeeDee goes out, and I see Jalen Tolbert. And for those that are watching this, with his 2 fingers here wrapped together because he dislocated the pinky finger, I think maybe Eagles 23-17. I think it's a close game.
Yeah.
But I think we've hit the 2 biggest things. You got to slow down Saquon Barkley.
With everything you got.
And you got to get pressure on Pickett.
Yes.
And then you give yourself a chance to win, even though you're on the road because they've got a backup quarterback. So I know who you pick to win.
Always.
But who's your pick to click? Who has to have a really good performance?
Our inside 3 versus their inside 3. Jalen, Carter, Milton Williams, and Jordan Davis. They're inside 3 big stud tackles. We got to deal with them. If we can't deal with them, this will be a very ugly game for the Dallas Cowboys.
So
Jalen Carter leads this thing.
Those 3 guys, do they remind you of maybe 3 guys you had to play against back in the day against the Eagles?
Yeah. Those Jerome Brown and Seth and Reggie and all of those. Yeah, they were. But these guys are not quite there yet. But I'm telling you, Jalen Carter is it. He is smart. He is athletic. He is huge. He's twitchy. It's just like the kid that just left here last week, Vita.
Vita?
Yeah. If Vita would lose 30 pounds, he would be unstoppable. You know, and that's where Jalen at now because he's still young. Vita's been playing 7-8 years, but Jalen is still young, so, you know, the bigness ain't bothering him right now. That's number 98. He a beast, man. He is slippery. He is powerful. He's explosive. I mean, he is it, man.
So which guy's tougher, Jordan Davis or Jalen
Give me number 98, brother.
Yeah.
And then give me number 93, Milton Williams, kid from La Tech. And then I'll take big number 90. Big number 90 is a 2-down player, first and second down.
Right.
Depending on the run or pass. These other 2 guys can play the whole game.
98, just watching last week.
Yeah.
He's got a little mean streak in him,
Yeah.
too.
Oh, yeah. And think about it. If you get the best of him, he don't get mad. I watch him. You get the best of him. But if he get the best of you, be ready for him to start talking.
Because it'll start.
He'll start talking, man. Yeah. Oh, I love him, man. I hate Philadelphia, but I like players that have the potential to be great and start showing you that they can be great.
Right. Well, we pulled this off, Nate.
Yes, sir.
I don't mean this in a bad way to anybody else, but love having you on the show with me, man. Just like old days, right?
Yeah, when we was in the Bat Cave.
In the Bat Cave back at the ranch.
Yeah.
It was me and Nate talking Cowboys, right?
That's
All right. Well, that's what we've got for you today on DallasCowboys.com. And we will be back maybe in full force on Mick Shots on Monday following this game. And thank goodness it's a noon start. Get on
I love it.
A little bit earlier.
Yes.
You guys get done here a little bit earlier. And the only other thing that needs to happen is the Cowboys need to win the game.
Oh, they will, man. All I need is for Pickett to give us 2.
All right, you got it. So the secondary get going, right? All right, that's it for Mick Shots on this Friday. Hope everybody has a good, safe weekend. See you on Monday.
Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys. This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!